here, and we're going to go to page 151. So go to page 151 in grammar.
Not the Pokemon reference.
What?
It's a Pokemon reference.
151?
Yeah, that's like all the Kanto region Pokemon or something.
Oh,
151 of them, the Pokemon reference.
oh,
Don't say
I
that
did
around my
not know
brother.
that.
Thank goodness he's downstairs.
All right, so we're talking about adjectives again. If you guys remember last week we talked about adjectives. Remember when we talked about coordinate adjectives? And coordinate adjectives are the ones that independently describe the noun. So you put a comma between those. We talked about the test where you can reverse the order or add and between them. That's how you check. So we're going to do a little review of that, and then you're going to learn a new type of adjective today. So lots of adjectives, lots of comma rules. They never end, it seems like, but here we go. So in week 3, back at the beginning of the year, you learned that an adjective describes a noun or a pronoun. Often two or more adjectives come before a noun. Week 25, you learned that the adjectives are coordinate. That was last week we talked about coordinate. If each adjective independently describes the noun that follows, that's what they are. Because the order of the coordinate adjectives is not important, the adjectives are separated with a comma. Today we're talking about cumulative. If the first adjective describes the second adjective and the noun that follows, that's what cumulative are. So cumulative adjectives follow this specific order: quantity, opinion, size, age, shape, color, origin, material, and purpose. So here are the comma rules for that. Because cumulative adjectives must be arranged in a specific order, the adjectives are not separated with a comma. So do not use a comma to separate cumulative adjectives. By the way, that word cumulative, you might have heard that before when you're taking a test like the state test. The state test is a cumulative test, meaning it's about everything you've learned since the beginning of this school year, because you're at the end of the school year now, and it's checking what you learned. So it's cumulative. It's not just testing you on the last chapter you learned. It's testing you on all that you learned up to this point. So that word cumulative is what that means. It's like a long list. So these are the two tests we talked about last week. Two tests help determine whether the adjectives before a noun are coordinate or cumulative. Can you reverse their order? Can you add and between them? If you answer yes, the adjectives are coordinate. Use a comma. If you answer no, the adjectives are cumulative. Do not use a comma. So here's your example. They entered the immense green forest. The two adjectives are immense and green. They describe the noun forest. Are they coordinate adjectives and do they need a comma? Well, we're going to check. Here's your test. Reverse the order. The green immense forest. No, you cannot reverse the order. That sounds funny, right? The green immense forest, it sounds funny because size, immense, which is immense, that's size, comes before color, which is green. So it has to be in that order, size first and then color. And we're going to talk more in a second about that. If you add and between the adjectives, immense and green forest, no, you cannot add and. I mean, you can, but it doesn't sound right. That's what they're saying. Technically, you can add and, but it doesn't sound right. So that's why they're saying no, that doesn't sound right. The immense and green forest doesn't sound right. So it's cumulative, and you do not need a comma here. They entered the immense green forest. So in this book, and you already know this, they're going to make all kinds of mistakes just for you guys. They're going to put commas where there shouldn't be a comma. They're going to forget commas where there should be a comma. And you're going to have to figure it out. So look at this bottom example right here. Marion was a brave young maiden. So brave is an opinion. Young is age. And those are two separate categories in that list that we talked about up here. Quantity, opinion, size, age, shape, color, origin, material, purpose. Those are all different categories. So since they're coming from two different categories and it's in order, like opinion comes before young, age, they're cumulative and they don't need a comma here. So you would take that one out. So we're going to go on to page 152 because this is going to describe it a little bit better. And you're going to write some things down in your book. I'm going to zoom in so you can see this better. So here's a chart of that list of categories for adjectives. And next to the first one that says quantity, in the space next to that, I want you to write the word determiner, because that's another way to say this category, and I'll explain why in a minute. But determiner and quantity are basically the same thing. So it's telling how many, and a determiner also is an article like a, an, or the. So it's the first part of the list of adjectives, okay? So it's a determiner or quantity, and I want you to circle the D in determiner. It says over here, the examples are three, several, or few. And then we have opinion, circle the O in opinion, and it says proficient, funny, and smart. Those are all opinions. Size, circle the S. Long, small, huge. Those are examples. Age, circle the A. Old, young, ancient. Those are examples too. And then shape, circle the S. Circular, curvy, square. Circle the C in color, red, blue, green. Circle the O in origin, English, African, Catholic. So origin means where it's coming from, where it is. If it's an English teacup from England, that's describing the teacup that is from England. Okay. And then M in material, that's wooden, plastic, cotton. These are just examples. There's a bunch more. And the last one, purpose. Like, what is the purpose for the thing, the noun? Is it a bullseye target, frying pan, baseball glove? In parentheses, those are the nouns, target. So bullseye target, frying pan, baseball glove. It's telling the purpose of that thing. And these are all adjectives that describe a thing. Okay, that's what we're focusing on here. And did you guys notice this right here? If I write the letters of each of the first letters of each of those words, it spells dosa scomp. That is a made-up word. It's not a real word, but it's to help us remember this order. It's kind of like how we use fanboys, right? To think of coordinating conjunctions is how we use www.asia for the adverb clauses. Well, this is for adjective, cumulative adjectives. You're going to memorize dosa scomp.
That
And
sounds like one of them Spanish names.
it's kind of well, I'm going to show you a video in a second. It'll kind of explain how this all works, okay? But let's look here at this paragraph next. It says cumulative adjectives build on each other. Robin was a skilled English archer. He practiced with several proficient young men. If someone said he practiced with young, proficient, several men, your ear would tell you that was wrong. You guys have been speaking English since you were little, like since you first started talking, right? So you already know by how it sounds that that doesn't sound right. If you say proficient several men, that doesn't sound right. That is why the tests work. We have been trained to hear and say adjectives in a certain order, and if you try to rearrange the order of the adjectives, it sounds awkward. Yes, Eliana?
I just wanted to say that if I were to leave, it probably just means that my computer died because it's a little bit low on battery.
Oh, do you have a plug?
Yeah, but it's all the way at the counter,
Go ahead and
and
go
I
get
wouldn't
it.
really have much.
You can, oh, you mean you don't have a place to plug it in right there? Okay, well, you might need to move. It's okay if you need to move closer so you could plug it in.
All
But
right.
I am recording this though, so you can watch it later if you have to, okay?
Okay.
Up to you. All right, right here. Robin was a skilled English archer. Skilled comes before English because opinion, which is skilled, comes before origin, which is English. So in this list, opinion comes way up here and origin is here. So they're not right next to each other, but it does come first. So opinion is before origin. Look at this example. He practiced with several proficient young men. So quantity is several. Look for quantity. That's the first one, or determiner. And then it comes before opinion. Opinion is the next one down. And opinion comes before age. Age is down here. So quantity, opinion, and then age, or determiner, opinion, age, they go in a certain order. They shot long wooden arrows. Size long comes before material wooden. They aimed at a circular bullseye target. So shape comes before purpose. So shape is here, purpose is down here. Okay. So I know it sounds weird. I know that. I want to show you a video that will probably help make this a little bit easier to understand. So let me get it set up really quick. And then it's a Khan Academy video. So some of you know about Khan Academy. It's pretty good. I like how he describes stuff. He makes it pretty clear. I take it you don't like Khan Academy. This one's pretty good though. This is about dosascomp. So let's listen.
So, grammarians, if you're a native English speaker, the phrase French old white house might seem a little weird to you. If you're not a native English speaker, it might not. And this is something that I didn't really know about before I started preparing to teach this course, is that there is a specific order that adjectives go in English. This is something that I think we just pick up as English speakers, but if you didn't grow up speaking English, it gets a little tricky sometimes. So the question is, in order to make this seem right, what order do you put these adjectives in? I'm as near about as I can reckon it, making this into the old white French house. Because there is an order and it goes like this. Determiner, opinion, size, age, shape, color, origin, material, purpose.
Same order
Or
that's in
for
your book.
short, dosascomp. Dosascomp. Oh, okay. That's actually kind of a thing. So a dosa is a South Indian flatbread, and scomp, I'm gonna say, is a word for eating. It's not a word, that's a made-up word, but dosascomp. It sounds like scarf to me. Or chomp. And both of those are verbs that can denote eating, as well as scarf
Paige,
being a
just
garment. So,
just sit still, okay?
dosascomp. I just want you to imagine sitting down to a delicious South Indian meal and scomping on some dosas. So, dosascomp. Determiner, and that's words like the or an. Opinion, this is, when you're describing something, there are certain descriptors that not everyone would agree with. So if you're looking at a piece of black metal, everyone will be able to agree that it is black. But if you think it's cool looking or ugly looking, anything that anyone could conceivably disagree about, that's an opinion. So, cool, for example, that would be an opinion. Size, so the cool, big, old, square, black. An origin usually can be, where it's from. So let's say Texan, and then, okay, so we have material, so let's say leather, because leather can be black, and then purpose. This is sort of where we would use what's called a participle or a gerundive to determine what the thing is for. So if we were talking about, I don't know, a lawnmower that you ride around on, right? That's called a riding mower. Right, and the last thing here is the thing itself. So we're looking at, okay, so this thing is the cool, big, old, square, black Texan leather riding mower. But frankly, in most normal English sentences, you're probably never going to use more than 3 adjectives to describe a given thing, like old white French house. Now, sometimes you might find yourself using more than one adjective that fits into the same category. You know, so you might say the exciting, unparalleled green dragon. And you'll notice I put a comma there because when you use 2 adjectives from the same category, so 2 opinions, the exciting and unparalleled, you want to separate them with a comma. But generally, if you're just scooting down the Dosascump, old white French house, you don't need to separate these non-coordinate adjectives from each other. And we'll get more into commas in the punctuation section. But for now, all you need to remember is Dosascump. And if you've never had a dosa, I strongly urge you to look up recipes online, go to a South Indian restaurant, and make and eat this delicious food. And then you're just going to scomp on some dosas. So determiner, opinion, size, age, dosa, shape, color, origin, material, purpose, and then the thing. That's the order that adjectives go in English. Why is this? I have no idea. You know, sometimes language can be really... the word I tend to use is arbitrary. You can call it random if you like. This is just the way that we've arrived at this order. It's just basically through random chance and convention, and what seems to sound right. And what sounds right for English isn't always what sounds right for other languages. For example, the way we're using adjectives here, we're always putting them to the left of whatever they modify. The exciting, paralleled green dragon. You know, it's all to the left. It's all old white French house. It's all, you know, on this one side of it. And other languages don't do that necessarily. So when you're trying to just throw a bunch of adjectives together on the left side of a noun, this is the order. Just remember, Dosascump. And that's how adjective order works in English. You can learn anything. David out. So, grammarians, if you're a native English...
There we go. All right, so there you have it. That is a fun way to memorize the order of those adjectives like we have in our grammar book. So that's why I had you write Dosascump.
Dosascump.
Now you know. I've never had a dosa before, but this sounds kind of good. Flatbread. Maybe I have at an Indian restaurant before, but anyway, let's move over now to page
Wait, Dosascump is a flatbread?
That's what he explained. Yeah, did you hear that?
That part was confusing. My mom makes flatbreads out of sourdough.
Oh, yeah, it's probably a different kind of flatbread. You could ask her if she knows what a dosa is. But it's, you know, Dosascump
I'm gonna
is
look it
not
up.
a real word itself, you know, it's just to
Dosa.
help us memorize that. Yeah. All right.
Oh yeah, it's cool. Guys, look it
Paige.
up later.
Yeah, I have to look it up. Go ahead and read the sentence today, Paige.
Robin instructed Will Stutley to make a target from smooth white bark, which measured 4 fingers in height and 5 fingers in width.
Okay, good. Yeah, I don't know if his name is Stutley or Stutley. I'm not sure, but either way. Stutley? All right, then. The vocabulary word is instructed. That just means to give orders, you know. So check that. It's a verb. And then there's only one article. Go ahead and find that. And Esther, how about the 8? It's a whopping 8 nouns. Can you find all those 8 nouns?
Oh, yay. I am so excited.
Good for you. I love your enthusiasm.
Dosascump.
Dosascump. There you go. I love it. Good job, Esther.
Robin.
Okay, Robin.
Target.
Target.
Bark?
Yes.
Fingers?
Yes.
Second fingers?
Yes.
How many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I still need 3 more!
You got this. We believe in you.
Will?
Yes, it's actually his first and last name, so we're gonna do a bracket like that. Will Stutley, whatever his name is. So, and then there's still two more.
Uh, Measured?
No, that has
No?
ed. So in
All
fingers
right.
in
Height?
yes, because that's gonna be a
Oh,
prepositional
it is a
phrase.
thing.
In height and in
Paige, stop feeding me the answers. Nice try.
she's helping you, but no chatting right now, okay? What is the answer then, Esther? There's one
The
more.
last one. Is it width?
Yes, width. There you go. Good job. Nice job. Okay, Dakota, how about the four adjectives? Paige, I don't want you to use the chat right now, okay? So just listen and make sure you're marking your book. Go ahead, Dakota.
Smooth
Smooth, good.
and white.
And white,
Um, 4.
good, but we need to spell it, right? Because it's a number. So how do we spell four?
FOUR.
Yep, Four, and we're going to label it adjective. What else?
Um, and 5.
And five, we'll spell that one. How do you spell that?
FIVE.
There you go, Five. That's an adjective. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4. That's it. Good. What about the coordinating conjunction, Liana?
And?
And there you go. It's right here. We're going to jump down to subject verb. This is going to help you guys find your clauses. So I'm going to have Eliana. Where are the subject verb pairs?
Robin.
Good. That's the subject. What is Robin doing?
Instructed.
Good. That goes together.
Let's my volume up. My brother's making noises. Um, Will, is that gonna be a
No,
subject?
because he instructed Will. So Will's not the subject there. It's Robin who instructed. Look for the next verb for next. Where's the next verb?
Let's see.
There's another ed word in here.
Measured.
Yeah, so measured is a verb. And then what's the subject that goes with measured? It's going to be before it.
Bark.
It's actually which, because this is a who which clause.
Oh.
So, yeah, so which measured. So it says Robin instructed Will Stutley to make a target from smooth white bark. That all goes together. And then it's which measured, because that's acting like a adjective telling about that whole thing. All right, so that's it for subject verb pairs. Now the who which clause, Paige, where's that?
Which measured 4 fingers in height, and yeah, it just stops there.
No, it just
To the
it keeps
end.
going. Okay, to the end. Good. So which to the end. And then how about the main clause, Esther?
Main clause?
Yeah.
Robin instructed Will Stutley to make a target?
Yes, but keep going.
From smooth white bark, which measured 4 fingers in
No,
height? No?
no, it's going to
From
stop at
smooth white
bark.
bark.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, because the who which clause is at the end. Yep. All right. And remember, these clauses have their own subject verb pairs. So if you stopped at target, then you have from smooth white bark and it doesn't belong to anything. So you got to make sure it is included. All right. So there are three prepositional phrases. So Dakota, where are those?
Dakota?
She's
What?
thinking. It's
Oh,
your
there she
turn.
is.
She's thinking.
Uh, to make a target.
So to make is one of those infinitives because make is like a verb, right? So no, not to make. We're not even going to mark that. We're going to leave that. So look for other words though that don't have a label yet.
Um, from smooth white bark.
There it is. Yep, that's one.
Um, in height.
Yes, in height.
Um, and in width.
And in width. Very good. That's right. So did that make sense about to make? Because
Yeah.
sometimes yeah, make could be a verb, but since it has to make, that's an infinitive. We just leave it alone. What's the opener here, Liana? What kind of an opener is this?
Um, would it be a prepositional?
No, look at the first word. There's no preposition here. The first word is a subject.
So subject opener.
So subject opener. Do you remember what number those are?
Number one.
Yes, good. So number one, subject. And then we're going to indent over here. That's easy enough. Capitals, do that by yourself. We got will. Don't forget about that guy. Stutely or Stutley. Okay, a comma rule. What do you think, Eliana? What are we going to do with the comma? Are we putting one in or taking one out? What do you think?
Say that again. My brother was being loud. Sorry, my brother was being loud. Did you ask?
I am asking you about the comma rule. Are you going to put a comma in or take one out? What are we doing for the comma?
Let's see. Um, um, are we taking out the one from smooth?
Yes, and I was going to say it's the one with the adjective. So smooth is actually considered an opinion, and white is a color. So if you look back on that dosa scomp chart, opinion is the O in dosa, and then color is the C in scomp. So it goes in that certain order. So that's why we take that out. Put a period, and then we already did the numbers. All right, any questions about dosa scomp or anything about grammar today on this page?
When can I eat it?
Yeah, let's do that.
Ah,
I don't
now.
know. But
Send
don't
me
miss,
some dosa scomp.
I want you guys to go on to page 157 next because we're going to do another page of practice because like I said earlier, you guys are going to have 2 weeks of grammar this week only.
Not excited.
Okay, well, at least you don't have any paragraphs to write, but
I'd rather that. That's more
we're so
fun.
close though. You guys are so close to the end. This book only has 30 weeks and this is week 27. So you have 28, 29, 30 left. You just have three, and then we're done with grammar, and we'll just focus on the binder. Okay, that's the plan. So we want to get through this. All right, page 157. This is talking about prepositional openers, a number 2 prepositional and a number 5 clausal. And it just says a number 2 prepositional opener is a sentence that begins with a prepositional phrase. We already know that. It says write the pattern for a number 2 prepositional opener. So here's the pattern. It starts with a preposition, and then it has to have a noun. So we're going to write the pattern is preposition plus noun, and then in parentheses, put no verb. Okay, there's no verb with these. These prepositional openers have a preposition. It has to be the very, very first word is a preposition. And it'll have a noun in the phrase. And then a number 5 clausal, the next one, it says is a sentence that begins with a www word. And lucky you, I already know you already know these, but it says here, when, while, where, as, since, if, although, because, and it contains a subject and a verb. Write the pattern for a clausal opener. So we're going to put www.asia.b.
Wait, what? B?
Because,
Oh, right.
right? In the
Okay.
book, in your grammar book, because is part of the adverb clause.
Right. That was
In
confusing.
our checklist, it's separate. It's a because clause, it's a separate clause. Sorry, that probably was a little
Okay.
confusing. Plus, and then you're going to put subject plus verb. That's the pattern for the number 5 clausal. So there's 2 different patterns here. Number 2 prepositional is preposition plus noun, no verb. Number 5 is www.asia.b plus subject plus verb. Some words can begin either a number 2 prepositional opener or a number 5 clausal opener. Always check for a verb. That's what you're looking for, because if it has a verb, then you know it's a clause. If there is a verb, it is a clause. If there's not a verb, it is a prepositional phrase. Okay, then it says complete the following sentences using the verbs and nouns that are listed or words of your choice. So see the list here on the side? You have a list of verbs and then a list of nouns. So you can use one of those or do your own. Include a subject noun and a verb to complete the number 5 clausal openers. Include a noun or article plus noun to complete number 2 prepositional openers. You may add other words to complete the thought. So I'll do the first one here. It says, see the 2. That's telling us it's a number 2 opener. Beneath is a preposition. And remember, a prepositional opener has a noun. So beneath blank, Robin laughed. So I'm going to look at the nouns here. And beneath, I'm going to say beneath the apple tree. So he's under the apple tree, basically. So beneath the apple tree, Robin laughed. So you're going to use these words or others. You don't have to use this list, but this will help if you get stuck. And you're going to finish these sentences. So the next one I'm going to have Paige do. This is a number 5, so you're going to need a verb here, a subject and a verb. Because blank, he was pleased. So what can we put there?
Because Robin trusted Will, he was pleased.
Okay, I like that. And you guys can write that or put your own. Robin trusted Will. And that's good because Robin is the subject and trusted is the verb, so that works. Because Robin trusted Will, he was pleased. Very good. The next one is for Esther. This is the one, the prepositional, so you're going to need a noun here. Without blank, he seemed troubled.
Um, Without. Hmm. Without blank, he seemed troubled.
You're looking for a noun here because we have the
Yeah.
preposition without.
Without aid, he seemed troubled.
Okay, that would work. Without aid, he seemed trouble. Or you could say without aid from his friends.
Yeah, from his friends.
Okay. Good. The next one for Dakota, back to clausal. So this is going to need a subject verb. As blank, Robin lost his balance.
Um,
You can look at the list of verbs here. You're going to need one of these verbs and then a subject to go with it. So as he
uh,
blank, maybe.
as he um leaped.
Okay, good. As he leaped, Robin lost his balance. That's a good clausal opener. Next one's for Liana. This is prepositional again, so you're going to need a noun, a subject, and a noun here. So past blank, a fawn stood quietly. So you need a noun here, actually. Past blank.
Um,
Past the blank. Look at the nouns here. As
past the cliff.
okay, good. Past the cliff. A fawn stood quietly. Back to clausal here. So this is for Eliana. When subject verb, it was safe.
She's glitching.
Uh-oh.
You glitched for a minute.
Is that Eliana that glitched?
No, you glitched for a second.
Oh,
Eliana's fine.
you're doing this one, Eliana. When blank, it was safe. So you're looking for a subject verb pair here, okay?
Okay, so a subject verb.
Yeah. So when Robin or when maybe when Will fled, because they're having a battle, right? Between Robin and Will.
Yeah, I'd say when Robin
And
and
you can use a different one. You don't have to use it from the list, but you can.
when Robin came.
Okay. Oh, there you go. Oops. That's a good one. And then because of prepositional opener here, because of page, what about this one? So this is where you're just going to have a noun.
The competition.
Because of the competition, Robin was tired. Good. And then this last one is a clausal. So Esther after, and then you need a subject verb. He knew it was a mistake.
Okay. Um. After he had charged.
He had charged.
Yeah, he knew it was a
Yeah.
mistake.
Yep. That would work. He knew it was a mistake. Good. So that's just basically practice with both of those types of openers. And remember these patterns. This will help you when you're doing it in your own writing too. Okay. Now I'm not going to do another practice page with you, but you are going to see up at the top right here where it says week 27. You're going to do week 26 and week 27 for homework this week. Try to get it done if you can. Try to get it done like by tomorrow, and then you won't have to think about it at all until we see each other again after Easter, like the Thursday after Easter. That's my recommendation. But if you have a lot going on, you can find a different day to do it. Okay, so we're done with grammar, the 2 weeks for your homework. Now, we really only have 10 minutes left of class. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to talk to you for a minute again about the test. And rather than you guys logging in, I'm going to log in and walk you through something because I want to go over with you again how to answer these short answer questions. So let me just show you really quick. And by the way, I'll put the link in the Google Classroom, and you guys can practice on your own with a parent. Today we're going to look at grade 8. So if you're not in grade 8, it's okay if you're not. If you are, that's fine too.
My friend's in grade 8. Now I get to see what she did.
There you go.
Aha.
Okay, so in grade 8 for the practice, this is what it looks like. It is about the penny. It's an argumentative essay. So you see over here where it says student directions, penny, argumentative performance task. Now, before you start though, let's pretend today's the test. Your HST says you may now begin the test. What is the first thing you're going to do? Do you remember from last week that we talked about? What's the first thing you're going to do?
Make your
Fall
checklist.
asleep.
No, Esther.
Or check your
Yes,
heart rate.
Paige.
Bravo, Paige.
Bravo, Paige. Checklist. That is right. Exactly. So the first thing you do with your blank line paper in front of you, make your own checklist. Try your best to remember what you have on your checklist. If you forget something, it's okay. Just put down what you can remember.
I did
Then
the checklist, but I
good.
was only able to add in who, witches, and Lys.
Okay, well try to add as much as you can. But what's the second thing to do after you make your checklist? Oh, Paige is on it today. What's the
So you
second
do
thing?
your checklist, you do your keyword outline, then you check your heart rate and mental stability.
I love it.
Right.
It's perfect. Take some
Bravo.
deep cleansing breaths and just breathe in and breathe out.
Or just go do it in a mental asylum. That works too.
No, nobody's going crazy in here. Nobody's going to go crazy. So, okay, but you're right, Paige. Thank you for that. So you're going to do one page, you're going to do your checklist, and then your second blank page, you're going to write out your keyword outline. Now, this grade has 4 sources. So if you're in grade 8, or I think grade 7 also has 4. So if you're like 7, 8, 9, somewhere in there, you're probably going to have 4 sources. So if I scroll down, I can see here's source 1 called penny wise or 2.4 cent foolish. Scroll, scroll, scroll. It's a lot, I'm telling you.
Pennywise.
Source number 2, is the penny worth it?
I had
Source number 3, hold
sources.
on, you need to stop talking for a second. Give a penny, save the day. That's source 3. And there's one more. Source number 4, the ever-changing penny. So now you know there's a lot to read. So here's the thing, you guys. I want you all to remember this. The worst part about this test is that it's going to take a long time. So let that be okay with you. It's
It
going to
took
take hours. And I know it took Paige a lot of hours, but don't worry, that's okay. That's the worst part. It's not necessarily hard, but it does take a long time. Just be prepared for that. So if you get tired while you're working on it, take some deep breaths, get up, walk around, pet your cat, pet your dog, get a snack. It's got to be quick, and then come back and sit down. Okay, so you can take breaks in your test. And most of you are going to be doing it by Zoom. So, you will log in with your teacher on Zoom, And then as soon as your teacher says you may now begin the test, that's when you write down your checklist and your keyword outline. If you have 4 sources, you're going to actually write 6 paragraphs because 4 sources is your body paragraphs. And then you have your introduction and your conclusion. So each source is its own paragraph. All right, I see your hand, but hang on, Eliana, okay? Because this is called an argumentative essay. And if I read the first paragraph, it says, in recent years, a heated debate has emerged about money in the United States. This particular debate is not about big economic issues, though. Surprisingly, it is about the economic pros and cons of producing and using pennies. So then it says the controversy surrounding the production and continued use of pennies is one of the topics that will be part of an upcoming website project for your history class. As part of your initial research, you have uncovered 4 sources about the historical and economic impact of the penny. And then it says, after you reviewed the sources, you will answer some questions about them, briefly scan the sources and the questions that follow, then go back and read the sources carefully. So you will have the information you will need to answer the question and finalize your research. And then it talks about using notes and all that. So the question for the essay is going to say, do you agree with eliminating the penny? So that eliminating the penny means like getting rid of the penny. Do you agree with that or do you disagree with that? And that is the argumentative part of the essay. It may be a different subject altogether, but you have to pick if you're for or against whatever they're saying. Even if inside you're like, well, I'm okay either way. It doesn't really matter. I'm okay with keeping it or not keeping it. It doesn't matter. You have to choose a side for this particular essay. Okay. So even if you're okay both sides, pick a side. That's what they're going to look for in this type of an essay. So I wanted to show you number 1 over here. So after you write your checklist, your keyword outline, get it all set up, you'll read your task, you'll read number 1 right here. And it basically says source number 4 describes how some people want to eliminate the penny from the United States economy. Explain how the information in source 2 adds to the reader's understanding of the potential effects of eliminating pennies in the United States. Give 2 details from source 2 to support your explanation. Now, here's the easiest thing to do. So, Paige, I want to make sure you're watching. Don't type in the chat, please. And this part right here is telling you what to answer, like what they want from you. See how it says, explain how the information in source 2 adds, blah, 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 blah. You're going to take that and put it as your own sentence for your first sentence. So you're going to say, the information in source number 2 adds to the reader's understanding of the potential effects of eliminating pennies in the United States. And some of you might be thinking, man, she types fast. I type faster than that, but that I do because I've been typing forever. If you type slow, that's okay. You will just have to just look at your keyboard and keep at it. Keep plugging away at the letters. It's okay if you're a slow typer because it might take you a while to get it out. That's okay. Just know that's the hardest part is how long the test is. Be prepared for being there a long time. It's not hard, it's just long. Okay.
I only took an hour on the paper.
Okay, well, most people take a lot longer than that, but let's look at this. So see how I basically typed the same thing as this? That will give you guys points. Look how easy that is. Tells you what they want from you, explain how, and you're going to take that and make that your first sentence. The information in source number 2 adds to the reader's understanding of the potential effects of eliminating pennies in the United States. And then you would say, for example, in source number 2, it states, and then you go to source 2, And after you read all of this, you go to source 2 and read source 2, then you would find something that supports that, the potential effects of eliminating the penny. Well, earlier I found this sentence right here. And it's a quote. It says pennies are, quote, too heavy and are not cost effective to ship, according to Chris Ward, a spokesperson for the Army and Air Force Exchange Service. It states that according to Chris Ward, who is a spokesman for the Army and Air Force Exchange Service, comma, and then he says pennies are, and then quote, too heavy and are not cost effective to ship. So you can have a direct quote from the source as long as you tell what source you got it from and what the quote is and put it in quotation marks. You guys see what I mean? So you can do a direct quote, and then you're going to find another detail to support the potential effects of eliminating the pennies, and add that sentence, and then you're done with number 1. Okay, I just wanted to show that to you really quick, that you can look at what they're asking you to do, put that as your first sentence, and then find the examples from whatever source they tell you to find and type it in there.
Did you know that they stopped making pennies? Because they actually cost like 5 pennies to make 1 penny.
Exactly. They have stopped. So I think since they created this practice test,
Wait, they stop making pennies?
they did
Yeah.
stop making
One
pennies,
day
but
they're going to be like super expensive, probably.
well, yeah, you can still use pennies, but they're
I
not
have
making
a
them
lot
anymore.
of pennies.
Save them, girl.
Yeah, eventually
I have
some
a
like
$2 bill as well. They
there's
can discontinue those as well.
there's
I
some
have one
more
too.
that are like really rare in like 1997 that go for about like $5,000.
Pennies or what?
Pennies. Yeah.
Oh,
Like
19, what
old
was?
ones.
Sell
Like
I
pennies for
$1997.
$5,000?
I think it's 1897 probably, because 1997 really wasn't that long ago. So even though
I
it
have
seems
one.
like it
I
to
have
you
a penny
guys.
from 1916.
All right, you guys. So I just wanted to go over that really quick with you, but your homework this week is 2 weeks of grammar. Next week is spring break, and then I'll see you after that. Okay? Happy Easter, everybody.
Right,
See you in
get
two
out of my
weeks.
camera. Bye.
Bye.